I need cash, and I'm gonna find it here. This is where I grew up, not all of it, but most of the important parts. We moved around a lot when I was a kid, about 8 houses, but we were here the longest, and so it feels like home even after I moved out. But I left a few things here. Hi, baby. Hi. Wow. So this is a lot of the things I didn't take with me when I moved out because my current place is very small. And I've been meaning to sell this stuff. I'm going on a big trip soon, maybe in the next month or so, and some extra pocket change would not hurt in the slightest. And to be honest, I've been putting this off for a couple of years now, so let's get into it. Let's do it. This truly feels like forever ago, just going through all this old stuff. Oh my god. Now this is, here, let me show you. So these mean a lot to me. I guess meant a lot. I don't know. I could talk just too long about these. There was the comics, the online games, the webtoons, the 4 movies. There was so much story around these toys. It wasn't just Bionicles, it was the world they lived in. I felt so connected to it as a kid. And so did a ton of other people. This series is still loved by so many fans, even years after its cancellation.
My name is Greg Farchty. I was the writer for the Bionicle comics and the Bionicle chapter books. I basically lived and breathed Bionicle for 10 years. And I'm very proud of the fact that fans still care about it. It was a very, very big part of my life, and it's something that I miss every day.
There are plot moments that to this day like still give me chills. Like, no spoilers, but that thing that happened to Motunui in 2008, like, but beyond the hours my brother and I spent with these guys, there's something more. A lot of my relationships growing up were by virtue of proximity. I was only friends with and made connections with people because I was near them. I didn't really have a lot of choice in it. And this went beyond like being a kid. This went into like high school. It's hard to explain. I think it might be for another video, but we'll just say blanket statement, religion. But I truly think Bionicles started to change that for me, even in the smallest way. Because beyond how cool and fantastical these toys are, it was my first introduction to community by choice, a community that I wanted to be a part of. It's 2003, you've just gotten home from school, you boot up Windows XP on your big tube monitor, and you go online. The internet is new, it's fresh, there's so many possibilities. But for me, I'm logging on to Bionicle Zone Power. And they had everything. I'm talking reviews, news updates, community threads. Anything Bionicle you can imagine, they did. And I was a huge lurker. I never made an account or posted anything because I was like 7 and like barely knew what I was doing, but it was still so cool to see other people just as excited about Bionicle as I was. And to this day, every few months I check up to see if they're still running. And they are, posting nearly every day. And I really want to know why. Years after Bionicle's heyday, why are there still people here? So I found this user named Black6 who's been an admin for BZ Power since 2000 at least that I can find, and I'm gonna be calling them here in about 10 minutes. Like, genuinely, this is so surreal. I can't believe I've gotten myself into this. Oh, hello. How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing well. I'm Brad. Nice to formally meet you.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out. So the website started in 2001, and I joined a little bit after it started, so over 20 years now. I started out as like a moderator, and then I became a reporter posting news on the front page. Kind of over time, everyone else left, and I was the only one there, so they put me in charge.
What, in your opinion, has been some of the highlights of this whole experience?
It's 20 years. There's so many at this point. 2006, where I went to my first LEGO convention and actually got to like meet some of these people I've been talking to for 5 years in person. That was definitely huge. And you know, some of the people I met at that event, I'm still friends with to this day, and just like the friendships and everything.
What keeps you still engaged with this community? And as you've maybe said and mentioned, you know, maybe the numbers haven't been as lively, but what keeps you still around?
The people who are still around are still just so passionate about it. Kind of like I was hinting at with my defining moments, right? It's those friendships you make. I don't know where I'd be without some of these people I've met through this journey. So I just want to keep that site out there for other people because I know it means so much to them too, right? And that kind of keeps me energized.
I know it's kind of a big general vague question, but like, why Bionicle? Why did you have such a connection with this line, this product, and as you said, a phenomenon in time?
I'll turn it back on you. What got you into Bionicle?
You know, my brother and I, like, the toys were cool, but we were just so enamored with the story and having access to the comics, the web animations, the Matt Nui online game. Oh my Lord, the hours we played. It was just such an escape and such a vast, I don't know, there was just so many layers and questions, and you could make your own stories and adventures. And as a kid, you know, that really hits. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty much the story of everyone who got in those early years of Bionicle, right? Like, yeah, the toys look cool, but then you go online or just opens your mind, right? That story, that atmosphere, right? That music that you heard like the first time you went to like the Bionicle website just sucks you in. They did such a good job. You know, transmedia wasn't even a word in 2001, but they found lightning in a bottle, the right theme at the right time, just in those early days of the internet, when there was enough bandwidth that you could do things like the online game and have a cool website. From there, you know, I got into the community and started meeting people and seeing the awesome stuff they were building and stories they were telling. That's one of the things with Bionicle specifically, because I'd played with Lego my whole life. Being able to escape into that world were so awesome. It's a toy company, right? They have to sell the toys, but they still did a good job of being like, no, but these are those characters you know that you've been growing up with, and you know who they are.
There was an effort and there was a heart there, yeah.
Yeah.
There's this one Bionicle character that really sticks with me, my favorite one by far. I'm a grown man and I think about this toy often. In the first Bionicle comic, we're introduced to Motoro. This guy, he's goated, he's the bomb, I won't hear otherwise. A small, weak, but curious character. And throughout the years, he moves from being a background character to arguably the main one, getting some upgrades and increasing in power. And in the story, at the height of their most important mission, he sacrifices it all, saving his friends in the process. I remember the first time I read it, I was so confused and sad. I reread the comic a dozen times hoping it ended a different way. But then I logged on to BZ Power and I saw other people reacting too, being moved as I was moved. And I didn't feel alone. Okay, I was like 13 at the time, it was a big deal, but still. We're so inherently blessed to live this life and experience all it has to offer. I think that experience is smaller if you move through life alone. Community is invaluable, especially if it's one you've chosen. And if you haven't yet, go find it. There's countless people to meet, adventures to be had, and stories to share. A lot of things are quantifiable, but I don't think community is one of them. At least for me, I think it's priceless.